Yeah, it was nice to finish the year healthy, and be able to go into the off season and not, really have to worry about that too much. Just continuing to improve on that, and take it as a pretty normal off season. Being able to go in and work out, change that up a little bit, but then continue to improve from a, I guess you call it mechanics, whatever you want to call it. Just continuing to refine that and make sure that everything's in sync, and making that a little bit better. So, um, it's nice to be in a good spot. This time last year was rough, and obviously there was the lockout and everything that was going on. So it's nice to be back here, have winter warm up, and see these fans, and just kind of get ready for these last couple of weeks for spring training.
Jack, I described his confidence for you being at an all-time high.
Mhm.
Would you share that same sentiment this year?
I think I always have that. It's nice to hear that, from him, and from a lot of other people. Just knowing how I'll say how the last year kind of went. 21 was one of those things. I came out, pitched well, and then dealt with the oblique, and that kind of you know hindered me the rest of the year. And then last year was just, was definitely more frustrating. Um, but going in every year, I have the same confidence, and um, just the way that things have gone, the way that my off season's been, where the end of the year went, just mentally, like, being in a good spot. Obviously, physically is important, but mentally being in a good spot. Just been around some unbelievable people, and have really, like, just tried to grow in that area.
Is that something that you kind of had to take a little bit of process or use motivation off season or anything that?
I mean, I've watched three playoff losses in the last year, and I haven't pitched in any of them, and that doesn't feel good to me. It sucks watching, being there and watching, especially being in the bullpen and watching that happen. Um, at least in 20, I can hang my hat on the fact that I had a chance to pitch that last game. But these last 2 years, sitting back and watching, is just, um, it sucked. I mean, nobody wants to go out and lose, but if we're gonna lose, I want to have the ball in my hand.
There's been a lot of talk about players the Cardinals could have added or should have added. The team this weekend has been placing big bets on the guys they have that can all bounce back or return from injury or have a better year. You're obviously at the tip top of that conversation. What does it mean to you to hear them say, "I'm not going to go out and get somebody else. We're gonna bank on these guys."
It gives a lot of confidence to myself to hear that, and it comes with a lot of expectation. I feel like I've had that. You know, I mean, I feel like since I've come up, I've kind of had that, and it's something that I like, and I can take that on and run with it. So, we got To, who's going to come back. I know he's feeling good, but we got a bunch of guys. We had Willie, we had a pretty dang good team last year, um, and I didn't really pitch. Wasn't really a part of it. To was banged up. Um, we had a couple other guys that are figuring some things out, but to take that and hear that is, it just comes with the territory. It comes with the expectations. It's something that I will embrace. There's no running from it. There's no hiding. It is what it is. Like, I can go out and pitch well and just be myself. Like, we were in a really dang good spot last year. Um, all I'm looking to do is just be myself and add to it.
What different has this offseason looked for you just in terms of communication? Last year you couldn't talk with it was eventually not allowed, and this year with Dusty, I know he's been making talking to guys. What's it look like compared to last year?
I mean, it's a lot easier. Last year I was dealing with, from the union side, I was just dealing with everything with the lockout, and having to be a part of that, not being able to communicate with anybody. This year, I think it just feels good to be healthy. Like last year, um, I wish I had gotten it figured out sooner, and then the beginning of the season goes different, and maybe we figure all that out. But it's been good being able to communicate with Dusty. I've talked to Mo a few times here and there. Just being able to have that open communication has been a lot better. Um, you look forward to those things. You look forward to being able to communicate, and kind of get an understanding of where to be at, come spring training and what that's going to look like.
Jack, last year, some of your teammates have said here recently that last year in spring they could tell your frustration with your body, like your body language. They knew that you weren't feeling right maybe before you even said it. They could tell. How, 12 months later, what's your body language? I mean, how much are you revealing about how good you're feeling?
I feel really good. It definitely going into spring training last year that was a frustrating off season. Just I would go a couple of days and it would feel good, and then would have a setback, and it just kept going back and forth. And this year it's been a lot of progress, a lot of making strides and continuing to get better, just even in terms of mechanically and the way my arm feels and the way that the ball's coming out. It's just things like building off the end of last season I've been able to do. And so that's felt really good. And just from a body language standpoint and mindset, like I said, we've just been something that has been able to grow as I've gone through the offseason, being around certain people, having conversations, and just those little things that you can continue to do, figure out how to be better teammate, figure out how to be a better version of myself on the mound, and figure out what I need to do day in, day out from that side. I've always felt like I've been pretty good mentally. There's points where you think you're doing better than you actually are, in terms of how you go about the day to day and the way that you work and the way you go about things. And I figured that out a little bit this year of getting back to where I need to be. What makes me me, and then having conversations of what makes me me, and then progressing that even forward a little bit more, where it carries out onto the mountain and you see just who I am and what I can do.
Wilson Contreras was in there this morning. He talked about 2019 you were unhittable, and Mo says if we can get the Jack from 2019, the team can be here as opposed to here. Is that the standard you hold yourself to? Is that 19 season when you had your best year?
It's one of those things that a lot of people want to draw to. Is the second half of 19, and you hear that we can get 2019 Jack back, then we're going to be this. If we can get 2019 Jack back, we're going to be that. He's going to be this, he's going to be that, and everybody, can you repeat it? And it's like that's great. I mean, we went out and had a terrible first half in 19. It was awful, and then flip a switch, fix one thing, and then it kind of take off from there. And then kind of get a little bit robbed of building off that with COVID and knocking out all those months, and and then get the first start, which was pretty dang good, and then don't pitch for 28 days, all that crap that goes on, and then come back the next season and get off to, an unbelievable start. Like, it is what it was that. So yeah, if you want to call the standard 2019 but for the end numbers, sure, but when I've gone out and pitched, I've still been able to build off that and continue to get better. And I think right now sitting here, I was 23 doing that in the second half, and then came out 2 years later and had a much better start to the year, which is what I wanted. I think that the standard is the standard. Whatever you think I can be, I think my expectations are still going to be higher than that. Whatever 2019 was, whatever the start of 2021 was, I'm not going to putting added pressure on myself. I just know that if I go be me, which is what I've worked on trying to take that and being myself, being on the mound and doing that and carrying that over. If I just go out and do that, things are going to work out just fine.
That was 4 years ago that you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Does it feel like 40?
It feels like a long time, especially with this last year and the way that it went. I've watched a lot of baseball, and not played a lot, and that's frustrating. It's frustrating for everybody. It is, there's no hiding behind the fact it sucked, and we've got some of the most dedicated fans in baseball, and I don't want to say owe it to them, but owe it to these guys, just for, it sucks. And when you don't be able to go out there and compete, especially with the years that Nato and Goldie had last year, and the years that our team had with Waino and just what they did, it was an emotional year. So it's felt like a lot. Still, I feel like every time I go out there, I have the confidence to do that. Go out 7-8 innings every time. Continue to just execute. That's all it comes down to every time.
next year you can be a free agent, how do you view your future and how defined this next stretch will be?
Yeah, I don't know. I have really no idea. We've got this year, and for me, it's just about going out and competing, continuing to execute, and then we just let everything else take care of itself. If we go out, the main goal through this year is to go out and win, not just for me, but it's to go out and win with the team, win with these guys, win with Wayno. Yeah, I was emotional last year. I don't think I've ever had that type of emotion at the end of a year with Yachty leaving and retiring. Like that was it's gonna be really weird not having him there. It's gonna be awesome having Willie. It's gonna be awesome, but it sucked not being able to be a part of that. And then this being Wayno's last year, that he's been like just an unbelievable friend to me from freaking day one since I've been called up. Like sitting down with me at the end of that season after the last game for 2 hours, sitting down with me for 2 hours, just that he's an unbelievable person. Like somebody I've been so lucky to be around and have as a teammate and as a friend. And he's had an unbelievable career, and I'm so happy for him and everything that he's been able to do. And I can't thank him enough for being there, just like literally from day one and helping me get to this point, continuing to have my back through everything over the last couple of years that have gone on. And, even to, when Ty passed away, he comes in my room and talks to me that whole night and is there for me. I'm looking forward to this year. Whatever happens at the end of it, whatever it brings, I just want to go out and compete and win. That's all we've ever wanted to do since we've been here. We've come up real short. We don't play 162 games to get closer, to get to the playoffs. That's not what it's about. And then come back and be like, oh, next year, add this person, add this piece. Like that's not what it's for. You don't play 162 games. You don't go through the entire offseason, go through spring training and everything just to get there. We've gotten there. I mean, the only year we missed it was my rookie year. Winning division's great, but that's not what this is about. So I don't know what happens after this year, but all I want to do is go out and win with these guys. There's a little bit of extra emphasis on that, and there's no hiding or running from the fact that a handful of guys that after this year, I don't know what comes after this year. Nobody knows. You can just go out and compete, try to win.
Like a fun change of pace. What was the thing you did with Chargers? And was that a TV show? And what can you share?
Yeah, that was a just a flag football charity thing that we did, and Mookie was there. We had a bunch of other people there. We did a flag football game. It was a lot of fun. It's something that they asked us to come out for, and we just get to go play another sport. It's a little bit of fun.
What position did you play?
They had me a receiver. My friends wanted me to go out and play quarterback, and they said Mookie was going to play QB. And I texted him the day before. I said you make one bad pass, and we're going to get you out of there. So he was, but he did a good job. He's a good dude. It was a lot of fun to be a part of.
Do you remember your stats? Or did you get a touchdown?
I caught 2 touchdowns. He threw me 2 touchdowns. So it was good. There's video. We won the game, but it made it more fun for them to call it a touchdown at the end for us to lose at the last second. But who's counting? It's all good. No, it was a lot of fun. Yeah.